Can AI recreate every NFL logo using only food? Welcome back to the Green Beans Go channel. It's your host, me, and this one is a bit bonkers. It's a bit off the wall, but yes, in this video, I will show you all 32 NFL logos recreated by AI using only food and food ingredients.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I'm also going to be giving each of the logos a letter grade based on creativity, use of food, and accuracy. It's time for 32 delicious logos. We'll start with one that I think is pretty obvious. It doesn't take someone from Maryland to recognize this logo. Yes, it is the Baltimore Ravens logo, and I've given this a grade of B, okay? I think the orientation is correct. It's facing the right way. I don't know what the purple stuff is, if I'm going to be completely honest. Not sure what that is as far as food goes, and that's why it's getting held back from an A a little bit. I do think the beak is made of cheese. It's got this blueberry chip and bean ensemble at the bottom, a little added flair. This is a decent recreation. This next one is weird only because it's actually one of only two 3D remakes that we've seen. All of them are 2D and flat except for this one and one more, which you'll see later. And I think this one also is pretty obvious. It is the Carolina Panthers, and I've gone ahead and given this one a C-. And again, it's kind of like the purple on the last one. What is it? Right? What kind of food? You show up to a party and this is on the table. You're going to say, yeah, I'll have some of those blueberry jelly beans. But what in the world was that? Licorice? This is a giant panther man out of licorice? Nobody wants that. C-. Another one that's pretty easy to recognize, it is the Arizona Cardinals, and I've given this one a C. I think they did a really good job with the red kidney bean look to the actual red part, the feathers of this. It looks like we've got some rice grain around the edges, which I think is a nice touch. But this big beak area, really the focal point, there's no food involved at all, and so that takes away from the score. And also this, they just added some peanuts down here for what? Now, if you think this is bad, I'm going to throw up some of the mock-ups. Okay, I had to run this one through so many times just to get it to come out with this. My biggest issue with it was it would not create the G out of food. It kept wanting to just stick the G onto food, and so for that, I've given it a D-. Absolutely no creativity. The G's not even food. Eventually, for this one, I had to ask it to make it out of cheese because it just wasn't getting the idea. This is a horrible recreation. All right, another D-. This is the Minnesota Vikings. And again, this was another one that I had to recreate multiple times to even come up with this. I will say one promising point, one optimistic piece is that they did try to get the horn here with whatever food this is. It almost looks like a cantaloupe that they've cut really finely in some areas. So I will respect that. This purple mess is just goofy. I don't know what kind of purple dip that is. I also don't know where this pattern is coming from, if it's like the hair braid that it got confused with and stuck it here. This is atrocious. While this one is very clear, it's just not that creative, so I've given it a C. I do like the fact that they've incorporated what looks to be other dips around it. It's to kind of say, you know, here are the side dips, but here is that main dip that you're going to want to sink your whatever these are into. I just don't know what pine nuts, like I don't know, ginormous pecans. I don't know what any of this stuff is. This doesn't look appetizing. And honestly, it's again, not very creative. So I've given it a C. No spoilers, but this is one of my favorites. It is obviously the Philadelphia Eagles, and I really like the chip texture of the feathers. Now, you can argue that there is not a multicolored feather effect. It's pretty white, it's pretty gray, where they've added in some brown here. But I think you give them credit for their creativity, for the artistic freedom that they expressed, them being the robot. The beak is not quite right, but the orientation is correct, okay? It's looking the right way, and this was done on its first try. So I think you got to give credit there. It did only get a B simply because, again, that beak and that eye are not made out of food, whereas everything else is. So I think this could have been better, which is why I gave it a B, but it's still solid. Boy. Another one that went round and round and round, and I'll go ahead and throw up some of the examples here. It just couldn't figure it out. It could not figure this in, Y out, and I've learned through my process of doing 32 of these that it hates letters. The AI struggles reproducing letters, and so give them 2 letters and see what happens. This is what happened. We can tell there's an N here, maybe, made out of almonds and cashews, and then there's the swooping thing, which maybe is the Y upside down. They've wanted to incorporate blue, so they threw 4 blueberries on here, and then whatever this is that's certainly not edible, this is an F. Only a keen eye is going to catch what this one is, and it is the Buffalo Bills. Now, what do I like about this? I like that they recognize, that the legs needed to exist as they do in the logo. And so what have they done? They've thrown 2 peppers down here as the legs. They've tried to do whatever this situation is here, albeit poorly. They have cut up tomatoes. This one at least I respect because it's got plenty of food involved besides whatever, again, this shape is thrown on top. I'm making this sound better than it is. It's a D+. She's beautiful. This is the Cleveland Browns, and it did receive an A- from me. You may be asking, well, what else could you be asking for? The face mask bothers me a little bit. This is clearly plastic. This is clearly an actual face mask that it chose to put in this image, whereas I think they could have done, spaghetti noodles or something. Again, I'm being picky, but I have given it an A-. So I do like the incorporation of all these different fruits and vegetables here, all orange fruits and vegetables. I think that's creative and clever. I like the backdrop of it. Even this, right? Like the white coming up just ever so slightly on the helmet is incorporated here. That attention to detail does not go unnoticed from me. A-. Took the easy route, did you? This one's obvious. It is the Cowboys, and I've given it a B for blue cheese. I don't know what that is. It looks like mulch. It's surrounded by cheese. It looks like a finely grated Parmesan situation. But what is in the middle? What is blue? What is edible like that? I do not know. And again, they've just thrown the logo on there and then stuffed it with blue Parmesan, with quite literal blue cheese. I don't like this one, but I respect what it's done. B. This one. C-. And here's why. Again, give them creativity points for incorporating these, what looks to be peppers of some kind as the hair, right? Like that is really well done. I like that. But they just totally gave up on the horse. Didn't even make an attempt on the horse. Although they did the horse pretty well, except the legs that don't exist over here. They just decided it needed legs. I don't know. So solid-ish C-. Another beautiful recreation, although I have to give it a C because of its accuracy. It just does not follow the Lions logo. And again, this was when I asked for multiple renditions to try to get it in that 2D flat, full body lion. It couldn't do it. It was obsessed with printing out these beautiful pictures. And again, squash, a little bit of some blue squash. I like the accent apples here. It's a beautiful photo, but it does not meet the requirements of the green means go. AI food statistical rubric. C. Statistical rubric. What are you saying? No, you're not on acid. This is the Houston Texans logo. It looks like the Houston Texans logo recreated by Salvador Dali. It is just a melting mess. But I have to give it to him. It at least has some of the features of the real logo. It's definitely got the colors correct. It tried to do the white, it tried to do the red, and it tried to do the dark blue. So I will give them full credit for that. What's interesting to me is they've kind of taken the star and replaced it with the overall shape of the logo here, which they got confused. It's an F. Now, this one's going to need some clarification. Yes, it is the Colts, but I've graded this as not available because, again, I will show you. When I ask specifically for the horseshoe, this is what I got. Nothing even close. And so I let it do its thing, and it came up with this horse. And while this horse is not really a representation of any Colts logo that I was able to find, but I will give it credit. It looks delicious. I can see friends and family gathered around with these vanilla wafers and this icing dipping, getting full on this full, but I'm not giving it any credit. Now, someone needs to tell me what food this is because I have no idea. And for that reason, I've knocked it down a little bit. This is obviously the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they've done a good job of making a Jaguar, but out of what? At what cost? I don't know what this stuff is. I've tried to zoom in. This is blueberries and maybe some sort of a raisin or a cocoa bean or something. But this, I don't know. It looks almost like maggots, which is not a food I would like to eat anytime soon. I'm disappointed in what they did here with the tongue. I think the blue tongue is iconic, and I think they could have done a better job. Now, they've incorporated the color in the background, so give them credit there. But this looping body, it's almost like this mouth, they got confused with this area right here, and so they've given this big area, which kind of corresponds to this mouth. I don't know. It's average. We'll give it a C. I'm not at all impressed with this one. Obviously, it is the Oakland Raiders. Oh my gosh, the Las Vegas Raiders. Who am I? D minus, and here's why. No eye patch, no helmet, no swords, and maybe these are the swords up here, these little chopstick looking things. I don't know. It just no flair, no creativity. Again, what food is this? I couldn't tell you. However, this Raider does have nicer teeth than I do, and no, this is not a score based on envy. This is a score based on creativity, accuracy, and using food ingredients, and this sucks. D minus.
Bruh.
This might be one of my favorites. I think it is a perfect representation of the Chargers season this year. If you said, show me the Chargers in a nutshell for 2023, you would show this logo. This Chargers logo embodies who the Chargers were this year. Just this decrepit, failing, sagging team. I should have rated it higher because of the accuracy, not only to the logo, but to the actual NFL team. I don't know what food this is. I don't have the first guess. And honestly, this is just hilarious. But in terms of how we're scoring these, it is a D+. Now, my wife got mad at me for this one, so let's chat about it. That's why you see the asterisk right here. It's a C minus, but, okay, I was showing some of these to my wife, and she said, well, this one's not fair because the dolphin itself isn't even food, like at all, like worse than most of them. It's like a cookie cutter, like something you take to the beach and you put in the sand. Yeah, but I just thought it was too beautiful not to include. Are you kidding me? Like, look at this gorgeous picture of these oranges and these basil leaves. I don't know what it's a C minus. What in the name of New York Jets is that? I will say we got a little bit of the Big Apple connection. Maybe that's what they were going for. Again, I told you guys, letters are a big struggle for these AI image generators. I think this is the E right here. I think the E is very centered. It's very prominent. And so that's what that is if I had to make a guess. I do like the incorporation of the apple, though, and I think the colors work nicely together and work well with the logo. That's why I've given it an F+. We're being a little bit optimistic here, but overall, this is nothing like the Jets logo. Good luck. Absolutely good luck trying to determine what that is. It is the Tennessee Titans, and we're not even giving this one a grade. It's straight to detention. But here comes the valedictorian to save the day after that Tennessee Titans logo. We have the Chicago Bears, and this is an absolute, without a doubt, A+. Everything in this is food. It's almost to scale perfectly with the logo. I mean, why am I talking? Me rambling is taking away from the beauty. Soak it in. And after all, it's better than this Grateful Dead look-alike that it gave me the first try. I hate to do two great ones back to back, but that is what I have done. Oh my word, this is an A, and this may be too critical. This may very well be an A+. You can see the carrot shavings, you can see the beans, the black beans all throughout. This almost looks like a sushi wrapping paper. Sushi wrapping paper. I don't know what you call that, but that's what that looks like. Maybe even some marshmallows up here. The only thing is this nose. What is this nose? It's facing the wrong way, which is maybe why I did not give it an A+, but this is a beautiful logo, and if you are a Cincinnati Bengals fan and you need something at your next tailgate, I believe this is it. What in the Taylor Swift biscuit is this? Yes, it is the Kansas City Chiefs, and it tried. It really did. We have the tomato and cheese outline, and this looks like a cracker of some kind or a peanut brittle of some kind, with a fairly close and solid attempt, I guess you could say. But again, struggled with the letters, C+. This is another one that just cracks me up. I think it's pretty easy to guess. It is the Los Angeles Rams, and while it does not necessarily mimic the logo very well, I think it's just downright funny. The crescent rolls as the ears, the horns, if you will. I like that they got the color scheme correct. They have the yellow swoosh here, and then they have the blue on the other side. I think this is really well done, a little bit abstract, but still solid, so I gave it a C. Really? We can't do better than this. And don't think I didn't try. I let AI work time and time and time again on this one, and this is the one I decided was the best. And it is an F. It is not good. They just threw the Steelers logo, a poor Steelers logo at that, on a bunch of food. I don't know what this looks like. It's trying to be a face mask, like it got a helmet confused. It has kind of a helmet, but this is horrible. This was actually the first one I made, and I quite like it. I quite like it. This is the Atlanta Falcons, and I think the scaling is really done well. I think the colors are really done well. It is an A minus, just because I don't know what this red is. It's such a focal point. It's such a main component of this logo. It looks like beef jerky or chicken tendons or something. I just don't. I just can't identify what in the world this is. So really well done, really cool design, but golly, what is that stuff? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? What is this, Green Bay? What is this, Pittsburgh? San Francisco did it too? Absolute plagiarism. And not once, but twice. This is nice. I mean, really, this is nice. It's not accurate, so we've given it a B minus, but they have the eye correct. That is not an easy thing to draw. Growing up a Seahawks fan, you know how hard I worked to be able to draw this, and still to this day cannot do it, and AI spit it out with cucumber shavings in 30 seconds? Are you kidding me? They took some artistic freedom. Okay, I mean they went on a creative journey with this, but it's completely made out of food. Everything in this is food and can be identified as food. So, they earned points back for that. This is B minus, and maybe that's too critical. Maybe this is a B after all. Now, before you throw stones, I have given this a C, and I think it's fair because there's something about it, man. There's something about the hidden W in here that is really speaking to me. Again, all foods, they have the colors right. This is the first time we see a pepperoni situation, and apple. We've seen apples every other photo, but I like that they got the W shape figured out, but also kind of hidden here. Cool logo. Again, guys, I tried. I tried really hard. I've given this an F. And on the day that Bill Belichick left the team, unbelievable. And the last logo we have is the process of elimination. If you can't figure out what that is, it is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I've given it a D. I think this is a hard logo to recreate, and I think they've done a lot of things well. They haven't really done a lot of things well. A D is maybe too generous. 32 NFL logos. Let me know down in the comments which one is your favorite, which one you'd like to sink your teeth into. It's probably that Detroit Lion. If you guys can think of any more videos that I can incorporate both sports and AI, let me also know in the comments. I've got a couple of ideas that I'm sitting on. I am eager to get these done. I think it'll fill a lot of time in this dead space where we don't have football anymore. So that is going to be my mission. I promise I'll keep putting out these videos if you guys keep coming back to watch. Thank you all for stopping by, and we'll see you next time.